So, good evening na po. Hi po sa mga hope you have already eaten your dinner po na, and welcome nga pala sa mga new buys natin, and hopefully you were there no last week sa ating previous session, and for tonight guys, we'll just have a short session lang na, and I will tackle lang more about a programming paradigm na and techniques used mainly in making a game. And about sa last session pala natin guys, it was just a short discussion rin or about more information about game development, especially important technical skills and other information no, para to start your game. And for tonight, it will be more on theoretical no, para ma-apply mo in your programming skills. And so let's start now. So tonight guys, I will be discussing a technique no and programming now, which is object oriented programming now. So OOP guys, it is an important technique mostly sa programming, and used siya mostly in game development na, and as all elements guys inside the game are treated as objects, so they have special properties. So one way we can we can mutate those objects is by using object oriented programming, because it has a special way of interacting of objects. So the technical definition of OOP guys no, is that object oriented programming, or OOP, in game development especially, it involves structuring code around objects, and also which present games entities like characters, items, or environments, like allowing for modular and reusable na, and also maintainable code no, through concept like inheritance, encapsulation, and polymorphism, and also facilitating efficient game development and organization. So OOP guys no, type siya ng programming paradigm or structure. So what is a programming paradigm nga? So programming paradigms guys are different ways or styles in which a given program or programming language can be organized. So each paradigm consists of certain structures na, like, and features, also opinions about how common programming problems should be tackled. So there are also guys no, another types of programming paradigms, but we will just focus now sa session natin about object oriented. So I have example here. So in game guys na, diba, mostly yung games is composed of characters. So for example, you have a character now, which is we named it player 1. And for example, for a game guys, yung player mo, you have a multiple function which is most commonly function ng isang character if you have a game na more about combat and fighting. So mainly you have a function for attack, and also your player will run. So if you imagine you have multiple players guys, like how many players na lalaro sa game. For example, you have 20 plus characters now, and then you manually type your codes for each functionality ng characters mo. For example, like paano tatakbo yung characters mo, paano sila mamamatay, paano din sila mag-attack. So without the help of object oriented guys no, it will be a problem and a hassle in code no. So imagine you have so many players guys, and then you manually write their functions now one by one, and you have multiple characters with different properties na, so you manually type each code. So that will be a hassle. So in object oriented guys, we have this class or classes. So it is the parent no, in object oriented programming no, a class is like a blueprint or a template for creating objects that define the properties, or like yung mga attributes and also behaviors methods shared by all instances no, yung or the actual objects ng class na yan, and encapsulating data and functionality into a single unit. So for example, if you don't use OOP no, you will actually type each function no, which for example you have a block for instance here, if you want to make objects now like yung kotse or car, and you don't use OOP, so you manually type each code no and functionality of each type of car. So for example, you have a black car, and then that car has a function na present lang sa kanya but not on the other cars, so you manually type that. So in the essence of classes, guys, the class itself represent like a template or a blueprint. So parang ano lang siya, one type for like for many instances. So you just type a single template, and then yun lang, you will automatically can create many instances of that class, no, just like with just typing a new short code lang, no, like calling the class and then provoking the instance function to create the actual object of that class. For example, we have a generic or yung general template ng car, which is meron siyang yung specific niya na properties. Ano ba yung mga properties ng isang general na kotse, 'di ba? We have the color and the name, 'di ba? Yun yung mga generic properties. And also we have the generic function of a car now, which is yung drive, yung paano mag-drive, paano mag-turn left, turn right. So those are generic functions now, which is can be inherit by the instance of this. So for example, you want to make another car with different name and color. So you just need to type a very short code, no, to make a new car. So as you can see, guys, the difference between not using and using OOP, no. In using OOP, guys, no, mas mapadali yung coding mo. So yun. So for example, guys, classes now can be used in making many objects, guys. It's either if you want to make sa game mo, you have a character now, so classes can be used now to make characters. For example, we have the generic class for hero, no. So we just name it hero because it is the generic name of the object hero, and then may mga common properties na makikita sa mga hero, which is yung name niya and also yung level. So those are the generic properties, no, ng isang hero. We have name and levels, and also yung mga generic functions like attack, run, and then yung mga special skills. So yun yung mga generic functions na pwedeng ma-inherit ng instance classes. If you want to make another hero, which is a specific hero or what we call instances na of that class, so just need to type lang na short code, no, to make that. Wala nang hindi mo na need mag-type ng maraming code na just to make another character, but to provoke the new function, which is the one that will be responsible for making instances of that class. So yun lang. Then if you have that instance, you can just modify the properties of that class, no, which is magiging specific na siya sa character na ginawa mo. And also sa class, guys, we have this called na may important parts. We have the class name, class data, and class function or method. So sa class name, ito yung magiging name ng class mo or yung template or yung parang blueprint. So yan yung magiging class mo, and it will define, no, the yung generic name ng class. And also we have the class data. Dito i-store yung every unique properties ng bawat class. For example, like yung name ng hero, yung level niya, and so on. And also we have the class function or method. So ito yung mga function na pwede mong ma-access through the actual object. And then these classes, guys, now can vary in many types of functions depending sa context ng class na dineclare mo. In function or method types, guys, no, I just listed two types, no, which is the accessors and behavioral types of methods or functions. So sa accessors, guys, we have two types, no, which is the getters and setters. So these kinds of function, guys, no, like they are the function that will be called to mutate the class data or yung properties ng isang class. For example, if you want to get the name of your character, no, you just need to call the get name. So it will return the property of that character, which is the name. You just get the name. And also you can get the another type of property, no, if you want to get the level of the character. You just need to call the get level. So depende pa rin, no, kung anong name na i-function, no, basta it serves as a getters, no, which is will return a data na need mo. And also we have the setters list, no. Ito yung mga a type of accessor function, no, which is ito yung function na magsi-set ng data sa properties na gusto mong i-change. For example, you want to change the level, no, kasi nag-increase ng level yung character mo. So to increase the properties level ng character mo, you just need to type the function na ginawa mo na set. For example, set level, and then you increment the level from level 1 to level 2. So that is the setter function, guys, no. It is mutating the internal data or properties ng isang character. Increment ba, or you just need to change or delete. That is getters and accessors. And also we have a behavioral kind of functions now, which is ito yung pinaka general niya, pero they also use the getters and setters function, no? So they are kind of function na iniiba nila yung behavior ng isang character. For example, it affects the instance behavior, no, but involves pa rin yung paggamit ng accessors type ng method. For example lang, ano guys, function na behavior, which is yung, for example, yung characters mo is tumatakbo. So you have the function run. So that is a behavioral function, guys, no. But also it uses the setters accessor method, no, kasi chini-change niya pa rin yung property ng character mo, which is yung position niya. So you just change its position na by incrementing or decrementing. So yun, behavioral function also uses the accessors type of method. So that's for the class, guys, no. And also there are important thing in object-oriented, guys, no, and I listed 4. So those are we have the inheritance, polymorphism, abstraction, and encapsulation. So let's just go first sa inheritance, no. So in object-oriented, guys, inheritance is basically a key concept, no, in object-oriented that allows a subclass or a child class to inherit properties and methods from a parent class or a superclass. This means, guys, that the child class automatically has access to all the public and protected methods and also fields, no, sa parent class niya kung saan siya ginawa or saan template siya galing. And also the extend keyword, guys, no, mostly in JavaScript, ang keyword na ginagamit, no, to extend the class, no, sa inheritance, which is the extends keyword, no, to make a subclass that inherits from a current class. For example, in Java, the syntax for creating a subclass, no, called child class na mag-inherit sa parent class would be, for example, we have the code here. The class child class extends parent class. So ang code block na ito, it will make a class child, guys, no, and then it will copy, no, each function and properties sa parent class niya. So by using the extends keyword, no, it will automatically create another template, no, a child class, then it will inherit every methods and properties sa parent class. So this is in Java, guys, and also sa same pa rin sa JavaScript. So we have a diagram here. For example, we have the parent class, guys, no? A class animal. So in that class, we have the common properties of an animal, no, which is the type, which is unknown because this is generic template. We have the age, which is initial value of 0 because hindi natin alam if buhay na ba yung animal. And also yung initial value name niya, which is Jack, which is we just name it Jack. And then for the animal, ito yung mga generic function or generic behavior ng isang animal, which is the eat, attack, di ba? Also some animals are aggressive, so they attack. And also we have the run if they are land animals, also run, or swim if they are sea animals. So those are generic functions, no? And so to create another class, guys, no, by and you are very tired of typing more codes, no? So one thing you can do to inherit a class, no, from a parent class is to declare a class, and then using the extends keyword, and then you inherit a new class from a parent class. For example, if you want to make a class of a dog, no, which is an animal, so you just need to extend the class animal so that you can you can make another class which is dog. And then in that class, guys, you have just inherit, no, the internal properties and generic function ng parent class mo, which is yung animal. So sa dog class mo, which is the child class na in-extend natin sa animal na class, na inherit mo yung generic properties, which is yung eat, because dogs, yung mga aso is kumakain, diba? And also they run. So inherit mo na yung function na yun from the parent class. And also you have another you have another function which is present lang only sa dog, which is yung bark. So yun ang unique feature ng dog, no, which is yung bark. So but this bark, guys, hindi siya available sa parent class because not all animals bark. And then to declare, no, once you have a child class, and then if you want to declare a specific type of dog, for example, you want a Shih Tzu, so you just make a variable called Shih Tzu, and then you call the new keyword, no, and then next word niya is yung name ng child class na ginawa mo, which is dog, and then you pass a parameters now, which is the initial name and the age of the dog. So then yung new ang tawag doon sa pag nag-declare ka ng another class ng dog, guys, is the instance or the object. So if you want your dog to eat, you can just call Shih Tzu that eat. So meaning this function, guys, is it is already declared, no, sa animal na parent class, because this is a generic behavior of an animal. And also you have the function Shih Tzu that bark, so this is only available sa dog na class. So that is all about inheritance. And then next we have the polymorphism. So polymorphism, guys, is a concept in object-oriented programming, no, that allows objects of different classes to be treated as if they are of the same class. So this is achieved through mechanism. We have method overloading and method overriding. So sa method overloading, it is a form of polymorphism, guys, now where multiple methods can have the same name pa rin sila, but different parameters. So this allows developers, guys, to create methods that perform similar operations but with different input parameters. So the compiler selects the appropriate method na to call based sa number of types and parameters na pinasa doon sa method. And also we have the method overriding, no, another form pa rin siya ng polymorphism where a subclass implements a method already defined. So defined siya sa parent class. Then when a function is called on the instance, or for example sa child class, and then the overridden method, guys, now is executed instead sa method na parent class. For example, you have the animal class, and then meron siyang generic function na make sound. So we don't know yet anong sound because we don't know what kind of animal siya. So we just console log a generic animal sound, no. So if you call the make sound in the parent class, which is the animal, so it will just console log a generic animal sound because we don't know yet the animal. And then for example, we declare a new child class, no, and inherit natin siya sa parent class na animal. So we just declare a new child class, which is a dog, a specific type of animal, and then here comes the polymorphism, guys. Now, example of overriding a method. So you just override the make sound, no, ng parent class, and then you inaba mo yung code inside niya, which is console log mo yung bark, and then you declare a new type of dog, no, and then you call the generic function ng parent class na make sound, and then yung resulting ng function niya is the bark, kasi in-override natin yung function sa child class na dog. Di ba? Kasi yung compiler i-override niya yung function na present sa parent class, and then if it sees na override yung function sa child class, yun yung i-call ng compiler. So which is the console log.bark. And same pa rin sa cat, no. They are just different type of animal, but same pa rin yung mechanism here, which is method overriding. So that is about polymorphism. And second to the last, we have the abstraction. So abstraction, guys, na in object-oriented, especially in JavaScript, it involves hiding the complex implementation of details, na, and exposing only the necessary functionalities or properties. So allowing developers to work with higher level concepts and simplify the interaction with objects, enhancing code clarity, reusability, and maintainability. So abstraction, guys, yun. In layman's term, guys, no, for example, we can compare it, no, in a car. For example, you have a car, and then diba, the common feature of a car, no, is driving, and you don't know how the car works, no, yung mga intrinsic details, no, yung paano yung mga gears, paano sila umiikot, paano nasusunog yung gasolina, or it's electric car ba, basta yun. So it hides, no, the important or yung mga intrinsic na mga properties and mga actions. So it only show, no, the function, which is yung driving. So yun yung nakita mo, hinahide yung pinaka complex na nangyayari sa loob ng car. So that is abstraction in Java, in object oriented. And also we have a similar thing then in object oriented, which is the encapsulation, which is the last one. So encapsulation, guys, in OOP then involves bundling the data, no, or the attributes or methods that operate on data into a single unit lang called a class, and controlling access to that data, and typically through access modifiers, no, like public, private, or protected. So it's promote data integrity, no, and hiding implementation details. So it also reduce dependencies, no, between different parts of the code. So parang same lang siya sa abstraction, guys, na, pero mainly yung encapsulation, guys, is it projects the the mechanism on yung implementation level niya. For example, guys, you have a class, no, na a class of the car, and then sa car, guys, 'di ba may meter kayo ng kung gaano na kalayo yung na-drive nyo. So yung car, meron siyang function na nagka-calculate ng distance from the beginning, no, ng destination mo. So it calculates the distance na from your yung first yung initial destination mo hanggang sa final destination mo. So only present lang yung function, guys, which is yung nagka-calculate ng data. Pero hindi mo makikita yung loob ng function na nagka-calculate ng distance. So only the result of the function, no, ang yung ma-access mo, which is yung return value ng distance. So that is encapsulation, guys, no? So if you are confused, no, about abstraction and encapsulation, so here are the differences nila, guys, no? So in abstraction, guys, it solves an issue at the design level, no? So ito lang yung nakikita natin. sa mata natin, just yun lang talaga yung purpose niya, and no other, wala nang extra. So direct sa ano yung makikita natin. And also sa encapsulation, it solves an issue at implementation level. So yun yung parang internal working na siya, guys, pero it hides a complex data, as long as it returns a value. So yun na siya. So, and also sa abstraction, guys, hides niya yung mga unnecessary detail but show essential information lang. And also sa encapsulation, it hides the code and data into a single entity so that the data can be protected from outside world. So, and also yan yung another list ng mga differences ng abstraction and encapsulation. So yun, guys, yun yung important, itong 4 in object oriented to make your game more fun and working, and also have a reusable code, guys. So hopefully next session natin, guys, is we implement this type of programming, guys, and for that we will start our actual coding now, which is making our own game. So yun, guys, and hanggang dito lang muna tayo, and don't forget to drop your attendance nga pala, guys, sa attendance channel to receive your PO-ups. And yun, so thank you for attending my class, our session about classes and object oriented. So hopefully I might be able to see you again next week. So stay tuned and stay hydrated. So yun lang, guys. Thank you and have a good one. Good night.